My name is not the important part. My job is. I keep the book. Every hour of work that anybody here does for anybody else comes through me, and at the end of the year, I add it up, and it comes to zero. It comes to zero every year, and the village gets richer every year. If those two things sound like they cannot both be true, stay with me. I am going to follow 1 hour of one person's work for 12 months and show you where it ends up. The people in it are made up. What happens to them is not. Systems like this have been running somewhere in the world for 40 years, and in one Austrian town in 1932, one of them rebuilt the place while the national money sat still. It starts on a Tuesday in March. A 19-year-old called Dev spends an hour rehanging a door for a woman called Ellen, who is 78 and has lived on this ground since before his parents left Kerala. Here is the entry. Ellen goes down. Dev goes up. The two numbers are the same size and they point in opposite directions, and the village added up has not moved, which means nobody had it before the door was rehung. There was no pot it came out of. No bank lent it, no grant paid for it. The work made it out of nothing at the moment the work was done. And it has two rules that ordinary money does not have. It earns no interest, so sitting on it is pointless. And it does not travel, so it cannot be taken to Sydney and turned into something else, which leaves it one thing to do: move. Every time it moves, somebody gets something they needed, and I write it down, and the total stays exactly where it started. Dev spends it in April on 4 Wednesday dinners at the common table. They are cooked by Amara, who came here from Khartoum by way of Toowoomba, and who cooks 2 nights a week because she prefers the room to the money. Amara spends it in June. Her son wants to learn to weld, and there is a man in the workshop who has been welding since 1963. Jian is 82. Nobody arranged the lesson. The boy walked past an open door. Jian spends it in July, on a fortnight of lifts to the hospital, because his eyes are not what they were, and the bus goes the long way round. The lifts are driven by Marika, who is 29, and a nurse, and on nights, and going that way anyway. Marika spends it in October. She is on nights all month, and somebody has to be at the school gate at 3. Ellen is at the school gate at 3. Ellen has been at a school gate at 3 for most of her life. And there it is, back where it started, 7 months on and 5 people wider. Ellen paid for a door in March and got paid for a child in October, and she has no idea it is the same hour because money does not have a face. That is what I am paid to watch. Out there, an hour of your work turns into money that leaves the district by Friday. In here it does not leave. It goes round. And the going round is not a side effect of the village. It is the village. Now, the two things it does that are not shopping. Ellen is 78 and her income is what it is. At the end of each quarter, she can put what she has earned against what she owes the village, and the village takes it because the village would rather have her work than her worry. Read that again slowly, because it is the part nobody builds. Her capacity to pay is made out of her capacity to be useful. Those two things usually move in opposite directions as you get older. Here they are tied together on purpose. The second one is bigger. Hamid is a plasterer. His crew spends 3 weeks on the building, and they are paid partly in money because a plasterer has a mortgage and partly in shares. A quantity surveyor prices the work the way he would price it for anybody. There are 2 documents and a share certificate and no favours in either direction. So the wall Hamid's crew floated in March is a wall Hamid's crew owns a piece of. He will drive past it for the rest of his life. He will never once be a tenant of it. In November, something goes out past the fence, and it is not the money. The money cannot go anywhere. What goes out is the work. There is a fund. Money comes into it from the company, from grants, and from people who want a river looked after and do not happen to live near one. It arrives as ordinary money, and it leaves as ours. So on a Tuesday morning, somebody is standing in the Queanbeyan River in waders with a bucket and a clipboard counting what is living in it, and being paid to be there. And on 14 Saturdays, somebody else is putting a native grassland back onto a slope that has been bare since the 50s, and being paid to be there. This is the sentence I would like you to take home. Regeneration around here does not fail for want of goodwill. There is goodwill everywhere you look. It fails because nobody can afford to do it on a Saturday forever. Give the work a wage and the work gets done. There is one account in the book that nobody trades on. It is in the name of the river. Only a steward can sign it. Everything the river gives us goes on one side, everything we give back goes on the other, and at the moment we are a long way behind. 12 months. Every trade anybody made. It sums to zero, the way it did on the first day and the way it will on the last. And here is the other column, which is the one I actually watch. Meals cooked, lifts driven, doors rehung, children collected, meters of riverbanks surveyed, hectares of grassland put back. Not one of those was bought with money from outside. All of it was made here, by people doing for each other the things they were half going to do anyway, except now it is written down and now it counts. And nobody built that year. Everybody built a Tuesday afternoon. The year is what happens when a Tuesday afternoon has somewhere to go. Now the part I would want if I were sitting where you are, you cannot pay the tax office in this. If you earn enough of it, some of it is income, and it is your job to say so. We will help you, and we will not pretend otherwise. A member who sits on a pile of it is a stalled wheel, and I will come and find them politely and ask them what they need. And my job is a cost. A village that decides the broker is too expensive has a notice board by Christmas and nothing else. And none of this is running. Not 1 hour of it. The book exists. The rules exist. The ground exists. On Young Street in Queanbeyan, and it is cleared. And the water and the power are already in it. And the approval is granted. What does not exist yet is the first 12 people. Everything I have just described needs somebody to do the first hour for somebody else. After that, it does the rest itself. Nothing here is an offer, and nothing here is advice. Nobody is asking you for a cent. Put your name on the list, and when there is a first entry in the book, I will send it to you.